Hi YouTubers, so today I am going to be doing a little bit on jet glue and Pointe shoes. I wouldn't necessarily consider this a tutorial. It's more like a trial by doing. Kind of could be a trial and error sort of thing. In my last video I expressed my concern for the issues I was having with my So Dansa Pointe shoes, and it wasn't the shoes specifically that were causing issues, it was the new padding I had gotten to wear inside of them that was making it so I could not stand on my platform correctly. Anyway, it kind of messed up my shoes trying to break them in with the new padding I got, so I got some jet glue to try to experiment with that and see if I could kind of repair my shoes. Then I got another pair of padding that was almost the same as the padding I had been using for a long time, and that actually ended up working out really well and I didn't need to use the jet glue. But because I had it and I'd never used it before, I decided that I was going to try to give some more life to some of my older pairs of shoes and see if I could use them a bit longer before hanging them up like my many other pairs. So earlier today, so I don't have the results yet because you need at least 24 hours for them to dry before you can use them. But earlier today I took my last pair of So Dansas and I went in and did some gluing. Let me just tell you that the bottle has warnings on it, including things like your fingers will bond together instantaneously if you get any of the glue on your fingers. I did not, but I do know this happens. I'm a cosmetologist and as well, and it's like nail glue. It will literally make it so you cannot peel your fingers apart, so beware. One of the things, or two of the things I was not expecting from this glue is it gets really, really warm, like almost hot. After I had put it in the box of my shoe and then flipped my shoe over to work on some other areas, I could feel the heat just radiating from my shoe, from the inside, which is insane because it's just this clear liquid and it looks like nothing. And so I don't know what kind of chemicals are in this. It also gives you warnings for your eyes and, you know, obviously don't allow this to come in contact with your eyes, but it gives a warning about the smell and the fumes, and this stuff, like, burns the inside of your nose. I wasn't intentionally sniffing the glue, okay? I don't do that sort of thing. But I just accidentally took a whiff of it. I was just inhaling and my face was relatively close to my shoe, I guess, the area that I glued. And it was such a horrible feeling in my nose. I had to stop inhaling until the sensation went away because it was that terrible. So if it's that bad, like just getting a whiff of it, then I can't imagine what it would do if it got near your eyes. So that's my own little warning for anyone that uses this stuff. So I already did a pair this morning and now I'm going to actually glue a pair during this video. And it should be interesting. I'm not the best multitasker in the world, so hopefully none of those things that I just said happen because I'm trying to talk and explain things at the same time. But I actually am going out on a limb here, and I pulled out my block jet streams, and for those of you that have watched my other videos and my critiques on my various Pointe shoes know that I am not super happy with block jet streams. I've had like a gazillion pairs of them on and off because they were kind of like my go-to shoe because I couldn't find anything better until recently with my Sodances. But my foot was sinking into them and all that good stuff. Well, I am going to try to take my most recent pair of Jetstreams before I got my Claudias, and I am going to see if giving them a little touch-up with some glue will give them even a couple of rehearsals worth of life before my feet start sinking into them. Because until that happens, they're actually a decent shoe. Hence why I kept buying them. So what I'm going to do is, and by the way, the specific glue that I have is just called Pointe shoe glue, but it's all the same stuff. This is just a company that decided to give it its own name. And a lot of the bottles, I guess, when you unscrew the cap, you have to cut the tip off of it before the glue comes out. This one, not the case, and I was surprised, and I'm glad I didn't just tip it over because the glue would have come rushing out. The tip is already pre-cut. So what I am going to do is, because these are not for performance and no one really cares what they look like, I want to harden the shank. So I'm going to do both the inside and the outside. If this was for a performance, or if I was a student and I had a teacher that really cared a lot about what my shoes looked like, I would only be putting the glue on the inside of the shoe because it does not dry clear. Don't think that it does. It's very, very dark. So what I'm going to do is, if you look right there in the heel, the fabric is pulling away from the inner sole and the shank. So first I'm going to glue that area. And I've been told by other tutorials that I've watched to always aim down towards the tip of your shoe when you're gluing. So that's what I'm going to do. And just like barely squeeze it, because it's gonna come out in a steady stream. You really don't have to squeeze hard. Then I'm gonna go along the sides. Can't see that. If I fold back the satin, I'm gonna go along the inside sides on both to harden all the way down. So I can literally just re-break this shoe in. That's my hope. Like I said, I don't know if this is gonna work. So if you're like grabbing your Pointe shoe and doing this along with me, don't hold me liable if your shoe gets messed up, because this is only the second pair that I've done. Haven't tried on the first pair yet. Don't know if this is gonna be a good thing. So here we go. I'm gonna go and glue those areas. If you have a specific, like a really pinpointed area of the shoe that is causing you problems, that's breaking down and isn't stable or sturdy anymore, but the rest of the shoe is doing okay and still has some life to it. If that's the case, first put the shoe on and see where that area is and focus with the glue on just that area. You don't have to go in and glue like the entire shoe like I pretty much am doing right now. You can also use this glue as a preventative measure. So if you get a new pair of shoes and you want to perhaps extend the life of the shoe before you even start using it. Or if, say, you have a really strong arch that just breaks through the specific kind of shoe you use really, really fast. This can be used as a little additive to reinforce, you know, for that example, the arch of the shoe, and make it so you don't break the shoe so quickly. Or if you tend to snap the shank, it can help with that issue as well. So I just went in along the side areas, let it kind of drip down. I can feel the warmth. It's kind of weird. And now I'm going to go into the box area. Before I left the studio a little while ago, I tried these shoes on with the various assortment of padding that I now have to see if these were compatible, I guess, with the padding that doesn't work so well with my Sodances. And it just so happens that it seems like I can actually wear the padding that I just purchased and spent all that money on with these shoes, if I can get the shoes back to a wearable place. So we're going to try this out. But I did notice that my platform and my box is super soft. I did not remember how much I had really dug into the floor, and that was probably by my feet sinking in the shoe so badly. So again, this is something, regardless of whether or not you care if anyone's going to see the glue or not, you really, when it comes to the box area, you want to concentrate on the inside of the shoe with the glue, because if you put it on the outside of the tip, it can cause problems with the shoe. You can slip, and it can cause the shoe to just have a different feeling when you rise up, and all sorts of issues. So to strengthen the box area, you really want to stay on the inside of the shoe. Without squeezing, you want to quickly tip this glue straight down into the box and just let it drip along the inside of the platform. So that's what I'm going to do. And just go back and forth until it feels sufficient, like you have hardened the areas that need reinforcement. And I'm getting a whiff of it again. That's a serious disclaimer for this video. Alright, so that's for the inside for me. I'm going to now flip over my shoe. Like I said, don't do this if you have a performance or something and you want your shoes to look nice. I'm going to find where my arch sits in my shoe on the outside, which is right about here. And I am going to glue the outside. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the Claudias that I did earlier. See? And I did that this morning, and that's how dark it is, and it's not going to get any lighter. So that's what I mean by be wise when you decide if you're going to glue the outside of your shoe. So I'm going to carefully glue the outside. Again, really not squeezing, just letting the bottle do the work for me for the most part. And there you go. Now, another thing to keep in mind is, unless your shoes are new, if you're using the glue to give them an extended life, you have to be careful, because chances are you already have your ribbons attached, you have your elastic sewn on, and you also, of course, have your drawstrings. And this glue is a serious adhesive. It just sticks to anything and everything. So, and there's no way to get it unstuck. So be careful when you're flipping your shoe this way and that way and all ways, that you don't get any of that stuck to the glue. And be careful with the edges, like the satin of your shoe, that you're not holding it or squeezing it a certain way that it's going to stick to the glue on the inside either. So I have been taking my shoes, and once they're all done, which this shoe is now completed, I'm just placing it down on newspaper. Newspaper, face down. Newspaper is very important to this process, especially for those of you that live at home and have parents that would not be happy if you got something like jet glue on their floor. There's no way to get it up, and there's no way to hide it. So anyway, that is my jet glue tutorial, sort of, kinda, / experience that I wanted to share with you. In whatever video I decide to do next, I am going to show you the results of this little jet gluing, thing that I did here, and see how it went. Feel free to let me know about your jet glue experiences and suggestions if you have any. You can ask questions. Hopefully I can answer them. New to the jet glue world. And yeah, so if you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, comment, subscribe on my videos. Much appreciated, and I'll be back with a new video soon. Thanks for watching!